Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We are back with another rebuild, and you're back looking at my awful face. It is what it is. This is the face that you're going to look at now. You're going to see in these rebuild videos for a lot longer. Finally went out, bought a real, actual webcam, so it's set up right here in front of me. You can see today, with the little background here, who are we rebuilding? It is going to be the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams just went to the NFC Championship game. They were competing in that game. That was a close game. Either team could have won that game, and the Rams came very close to it. The Rams, older team, made some big trades. Again, this is kind of the base rosters. I haven't, done anything yet that would change that. I don't plan on doing that, especially this late in the year. I just want to keep rebuilding with the normal rosters, and there's some issues with the rosters right now too, where it's just like doing weird things, and I'd rather not actually have to deal with any of that. So we're just going to stick with the normal rosters that are in the game. And do that. So the Rams, Matthew Stafford, MVP. You got Puka Nacua, completely, possibly insane person. I don't know. Could be a nut job. I'm not 100% sure on that. But, right now, still one of the best wide receivers in the game. Devontae Adams, Jared Verse. You have a lot of talent on this team. A perfect mixture, I think, of veterans, young players, and things like that. Players on the come up, players who are already established. Matthew Stafford could be a player that could retire after we go in here. So what I'm going to do for Matthew Stafford, I'm going to be upfront about this. We are going to change his age. I think we're going to put him at like around 33, 34. And that should keep him from retiring. If he does, well, that kind of sucks for me, but I would prefer it if he doesn't retire this first year. So that's kind of what I want. I want to at least get a season or two with Matthew Stafford. He does always retire, it seems like, in these rebuilds. I don't plan on that. I am going to try to make the Trent McDuffie trade as well. We're going to see if we can do that. Sign him to that big extension. Those are the moves that we're going to try to do to keep this somewhat realistic if we can. But if you have been enjoying the rebuilds, hit the like button, hit subscribe on the channel. We have this rebuild and one more rebuild coming up here, and we will be done with Madden 26 rebuilds, and it will be on to Madden 27 news cycle and stuff like that. I mean, it's already April, so we are very close to getting to that cycle. So be sure to be here for all of that stuff that we're going to do in Madden 27, which is going to be a lot of rebuilds, a lot of franchise stuff as well. I've always done that. Maybe we try a different format for a franchise now that I actually have a webcam and things like that. Now, granted, the issue with this is I still don't actually have like a true dual setup here, because I have my computer monitors right here. The game is actually to the left of me, which is your right. It looks like the right on the screen, but this is actually to my left. So I can't like look at the camera and then like play the game. I don't have like the space for that right now. I just have a normal little desk that can fit one monitor, and then I have to have a monitor off here. So we can't do that just yet, but I do plan on eventually doing that, so we can potentially do that as well as we keep trying to grow this channel, keep trying to do different things on here. And yeah, so let's get into this rebuild though. Thanks for watching, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you've been enjoying it. Okay, so we are here looking at this roster real quick, and I guess we'll go over it before we have any retirements or anything like that. Matthew Stafford, you got a great wide receiver core here, some talented young players, offensive line, pretty good. Running back room, very good. Really, what the thing here is with Matthew Stafford. Now, he does mostly retire after this first year. He always retires at age 37. Again, I still have to look over here because my camera is blocking the thing. But what we're going to try to do here with Matthew Stafford is we are going to try to get him to not retire. So we're going to make him 32. Reduce his age a little bit and see if that keeps him from retiring. He might still retire. I don't know. It's always a possibility, but I prefer it if he doesn't retire. Defense looks very good. Kobe Turner probably could use a third guy here on this defensive line, but for the most part, it is pretty good here. Linebacker core is very good. Edge players, very good. This is a team that did go out and trade for another corner. We're going to see if we can try to make that happen here. It's not a guarantee that I can. If I can't, I'm not going to do anything like too crazy. We'll just go throughout free agency without making that Trent McDuffie trade. I would like to say if we could make it happen, but if we can't, we can't. That's just kind of the nature of the business right there. Well, not really the nature of the, you know what I mean when I say that. It's like, if I can't, I can't. I'm not going to, trade like a first round pick and then a fourth round pick. And I'm not going to do that for that trade. It's not that important to me for it to be that realistic. Let's go look at let's go take a look at these retirements and see if Stafford retired, and he does not retire. We had a bunch of guys retired. Devontae Adams retires, who actually isn't retiring. So I'm not going to go throughout the game and fix that. It's very weird. I think they're a little too extreme with retirements at times, but that's fine. But we do have a deal with a Tyler Higbee retirement. That's just stupid. I feel like whenever you have a team, I feel like they try to hit you with retirement a little bit more for whatever reason, try to make the franchise experience deeper or something. I don't know. It's just weird. So that's a little annoying, but we'll deal with it. No Matthew Stafford retirement. We still have him. Let's get into re-signing. All right, first re-signing here is going to be Cameron Curl. Oh, he wants to play for a new team. I thought we were going to re-sign him. Okay. We're not going to franchise tag him, that's for sure. Kobe Durant, we're going to bring back. Or at least maybe we will. I don't know. It seems like players don't want to be here. Well, he does want to be here, so we do keep Kobe Durant around. Look through everyone else. I'm sure someone's gonna be angry about someone I'm not like re-signing. They're like, why didn't you re-sign this guy? You know, you should have brought this guy. Please don't. Just don't. Just sit there in the back seat and watch the rebuild. How about that? Just watch the rebuild. Let the artists do the work. Yeah. So we're gonna pay this kicker some money, just because I don't want to have to deal with a fucking kicker. I swear to God, I don't know how many times I've been doing a rebuild, and my toughest negotiation is a kicker. Why? You know, it's like one of those things like, why? Why am I sitting here getting into a pissing match? We also now kind of need tight end. So we're going to give Colby Parkinson some money. He's going to come back. And we have $90 million in cap. I would like to bring back Cam Curl, but if he doesn't want to come back, I'm certainly not going to force him. And receiver actually becomes a need for us now. Because Devontae Adams retired. So we can't go out and spend that money on Cam Curl. Like, we have more important things to do besides re-signing Cam Curl. So we're not going to re-sign Cam Curl. We are going to, I'm not looking into your eyes there. It's weird because I don't know what to, like, I've never done videos with like a camera like this. So I don't know. Do I need to just keep looking at the screen? Do I need to look you, the viewer, in the eye? Is that what I need? Like, we're like, you know me or something? Like, you see me out on the street? If any of you are, I doubt anyone would. If you ever actually see me on the street, do not approach me. Just don't. I'm joking about that. Only slightly, though. So let's go to free agency here. I feel like this camera should be in a different place, but I'm not sure where. But we need receiver. We all of a sudden now we've got Charlie Kirk here. We need another receiver, and I still maybe have to go out and make that trade for one Trent McDuffie. So let's go see if the almost threw up in my mouth. Let's go see. I had McDonald's for lunch. Can't you tell? Let's go see if they're willing to make that trade. If I'm correct, the Rams did not trade their 13th pick. It was pick 29 that they traded, which I can't believe the Chiefs weren't able to finagle that 13th pick away for Trent McDuffie. So let's see, are they willing to even entertain this offer? Oh, this will put the other team over a salary cap. Oh, okay. So are they just operating in free agency with no salary cap here? They didn't bother cutting anyone. They didn't bother restructuring any contracts. Does the CPU not restructure contracts to get under the cap? How are they operating? How are they in free agency? How are they in a new league year over the cap? Is that like something that the game does? Well, since we can't do that, because I don't feel like having to sit here and finagle around with the goddamn having to build a trade that has different contracts and stuff like that. I'm not doing that. We're going to make a different trade here. And since they did not bother doing anything right, we're going to go with Michael Pittman Jr. here. Can we try to trade for Michael Pittman Jr.? How about a second round pick? Not even close. I'm not giving up one of those first round picks here to do that. Jalen Waddle in real life did get traded. Can we trade for Jalen Waddle? What if I give up a 2 and a 3 for Jalen Waddle? How about that? Not even close. I would like to get a finished product in here right away next to Puka. Damn it. Okay, what about that third round? 1 and a 3. Could that do it? Close. Here's 2 6s. Can we get that done? Oh, you bastards. Okay. How about a 5 instead? A 5 should be more valuable than 2 6s. Fine. And then a 6. That should get it done. That does get it done. So instead of trading for Trent McDuffie, we go out and trade for Jalen Waddle. We go out here, add another receiver to this Rams offense. Again, if a certain someone didn't retire on me, I wouldn't have done that trade. But since we still have that 13th pick, that now probably changes what we're going to look for when it comes to the draft. This team now has to, I think, pivot a little bit here. And, you know, we're fine at safety. Yeah, we're fine at safety. Corners, it's fine, right? Corner, we're fine at corner. But I believe we are going to need, we're good at tackle, we're good at guard, good at center, good at right guard. So we don't need to do anything in regards to that. I think I wanted to get another defensive tackle in here, but actually we're fine because, yeah, we're fine at defensive tackle. We're good, really. So at this point, I think it's corner that we're going to have to look for in the draft. And probably just one extra receiver. I think tight end is where we're going to have to potentially invest. Again, not sure if we're going to be able to develop Terrence Ferguson. That's going to be a little bit difficult. It's entirely possible we could, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it. But receiving room, really good here. Still relatively young. I mean, Jalen Waddle, only 27 years old. Tight end probably needs a little bit of help. We're good on the offensive line. So I think we are going to focus on going out and seeing, is there another free safety that we could get maybe? And then tight end, we're going to go take a look at. And so tight end here, David Njoku, only 30. Cade Otton is here. That's a little interesting. I rarely ever see Cade Otton in free agency. The rest of these guys are just kind of whatever, honestly. You know, I think if we want to give David Njoku like a 1-year deal and just pay him a lot of money here for like 2 years, and we'll see if he likes that. He kind of likes the deal. So we'll maybe bring in David Njoku for 2 years, and then we'll go take a look at corner. Is there any corners in here that we want to bring in just as a spare corner to have? Nothing all that special. Eric Stokes, that could be a little bit of fun, maybe, but you know, in the sim engine, I feel like you always want to have some pretty good corners. I just feel like the sim engine seems to like when you have a lot of good corners. Dax Hill is here. He is still relatively young, and we're going to give him like a 5-year deal. We have a lot of money here, and I think that's what we're going to do right there. So I think that's honestly going to do it for free agency. Top 100. Take a look at our targeted players. It's David Njoku, Dax Hill. We don't need a receiver. Let's see. Let's go to evaluate these offers. Do we get both of those players? And we do. We get David Njoku and we get Dax Hill in free agency. And I think now we're going to go shift our focus to the draft. Okay, so we're here in the draft right now. And again, I could have sworn I set this to have that paused. So sorry for look. I already explained it. I'm going to have to look over every now and then. It's going to be weird sometimes. But we are here in the draft. Let's skip ahead to our next user pick. And that is the pick number 13. Now, what do we want to do here with this pick? We have a lot of options, a lot of good players still on this board. Mekhi Lemons here. I thought corner was a need. I really did. And corner could be a need, but we could go out here and I think we could really just grab a safety. And Dylan Thieneman, I think, is really a fascinating player. I loved what I saw of him at the combine. I thought he looked like an amazing athlete. He's a guy who's really flying up the draft board, and I just kind of feel like this could be a piece that could make a little bit more sense for us as opposed to any of these corners. We're kind of decent enough at corner. I don't think any of these guys are necessarily going to be elite corners that, you know, you build an entire defensive back room around. And I think Dylan Thieneman has a chance to be a big-time playmaker. And I am going to draft Dylan Thieneman. And we're going to take him number 4 in true value. Drafted him at number 13. I think that is a great value here. It's not going to be very often that this Rams team is going to have a pick right here. I believe this is originally the Falcons pick. This should be the Falcons pick, but they traded for one of those. I don't know if the guy they traded for is the one that like beat up his girlfriend or not, allegedly. But either way, we get Dylan Thieneman. And we are going to skip ahead into the draft. Maybe there's still a corner on the board for us when we come back around to pick, and which is going to be pretty late here in the second round. I doubt there is, but you never know. And there's really not, just because it's not a very deep corner class. I think everyone is aware that it's not a very deep corner class. And yeah, again, I've used this draft class so many times before that I do feel like I know a lot of these players. We're going to take Chris Bell right here. And the idea of taking Chris Bell is that we don't necessarily need Chris Bell to perform this year. Chris Bell could be a guy that we can wait on, actually, for a little bit. Chris Bell was a guy who was kind of surging up draft boards, was kind of near the end of the season. Then he tore his ACL. So, was a guy who a lot of people thought could have been a first-round pick. No clue if he'll go in the second round. We don't have to worry about that here because we don't do injuries here. So go to our next user pick right now. See what else is on the board. We do not have a third-round pick because we traded that to the Dolphins. The Dolphins have a ton of picks in here. And we do not pick again all the way to the 6th round. So a long time we had to wait to get back in here to make some picks. And these menus are so slow. I really don't understand how these menus are so slow. At this point, I think what the Rams would do, even with Matthew Stafford coming back, is I think they would take a quarterback, actually, just to have one in that developmental pipeline. And again, they would probably, I think, go with someone who is very young. But one of the guys who is kind of, I've seen kind of move up some draft boards a little bit. People are kind of impressed with him is Athan Kalakamanis. 23 years old. We'll draft him. We'll see if maybe we can turn him into something that, you know, maybe we'll have a quarterback in ready to go when Stafford does retire. If he does retire in this rebuild, I don't know if he will, but that's going to do it for the draft. Let's go take a look at the draft recap. We're just going to simulate to that. Take a look at it, kind of see what we did here with that pick in the first round. Again, could have kept both first round picks and drafted a receiver, but I feel like the Rams would not necessarily want to expect a rookie receiver to kind of step in and try to step up like that. I don't think they would do that. I think they would want a veteran. This is a team that seems to at times really value veteran players. So Dylan Thieneman, 79 overall, I think immediately becomes our best safety on the roster. Great speed, great athlete. Gonna have to do some work on the zone coverage and the play rack and things like that, but I'm pretty confident we will get there with him. So superstar, well, I don't know if he has superstar dev, but does have doesn't have, I don't know if I'm trying to say he has a dev trait, and that could be superstar, could be superstar X Factor, or it could be star. You never know what it could be. It's like a box of chocolates. They drafted Aaron Graves, who's just 67 overall. These guys probably won't develop into much at all. I don't expect them to, but you never know. But top pick really is Dylan Thieneman here, and that's kind of the biggest piece of this draft class. So I will come back and I will see you for the start of year number 1 after I do the training camp stuff. So yeah, I'll see you then. All right, so we did do a training camp drill with Dylan Thieneman, and we ended up getting his dev trait upgrade. He goes up to superstar, so he just had star. So that's a pretty nice upgrade right there for him early on here in this rebuild. That'll definitely help him develop a lot more as we go throughout this rebuild. So I'm not sure I just repeated myself right there. So yeah, I'll get through the rest of training camp. Okay, so we have some more upgrades here to do, and we have wide receiver Chris Bell. Got him some upgrades here. Again, he's going to be our third wide receiver, so he will get some usage in the sim engine, just because you know, really only 3 receivers and the tight end get usage in the sim. That's just kind of how Madden operates. That's kind of just how Madden is with the sim engine. I hope that's different in Madden 27. I have done a wishlist video on that before, probably talking about it. I do hope that's something that's different for Madden 27, is that they do some work on the sim engine and try to get that better, try to improve upon that, try to build upon that for, you know, future years and things like that. You don't know if they will. I mean, they've, you know, again, I talk about this in every rebuild, but I do think it's really important to mention that so much of these rebuilds, as much as I do have fun doing them, I just do feel like at times they are a little, I'm actually going to move my camera here because I'm tired of not being able to like see certain things. So we'll try right here. Maybe I'll make myself a little bit smaller. We'll see if that helps with things. So now I'm up here a little bit smaller, but we can see, I think, most of the information that's really important. We have some upgrades here for Dylan Thieneman. You can't even see his name now. So there's that. But we're going to focus a little bit here on zone coverage, because I think his coverage did need to get a little bit better. And we do get a play rec upgrade as well. So we're going to focus on that here for a bit. Try to get these upgrades here, plus 2 play rec. We do like to see in that. And he's, you know, up to an 81 overall. So that's a pretty good bit of upgrades here for him. Plus 4 pursuit. I don't know how much that helps in the sim, but, you know, it's upgrades, right? And then everyone else, we are just going to let the CPU kind of do the rest of these upgrades. And I will see you for the start of the first season of this rebuild. We'll take a look at the full roster. Now I'm over here. So maybe over here is better. I'm not sure. We're going to keep trying this till we figure it out. But here is the roster. This way you can see the roster page pretty clearly. Looks pretty good. Mostly the same team. Did add David Njoku and Jalen Waddle here. So those are the 2 additions. I guess really 1 addition because, you know, well, actually, I mean, it is 2 additions to the roster, but really it's just 1 because I feel like Waddle kind of replaces Devontae Adams, not as a player or anything like that, just kind of on the roster page. He does. And then David Njoku, we get a little bit better at tight end. Chris Bell is up to an 80 overall. You'd like to see that. And then we still have Puka Nacua, as long as he stays out of jail for biting women or whatever the hell he's up to. Let me take a quick look here at this team, and I really like it. Thieneman is going to start for us. Again, we didn't necessarily need safety, but I think he is so good that it kind of just makes a lot of sense to go out there and get him. Defensive tackle room, very good. Older-ish, but still, I mean, not older, but veteran players here. Braden Fisk is still very young, and we have a pretty decent, I think, cornerback room here, so we do have that going for us. Edge players look pretty good here, decent enough, good at linebacker. Not amazing, I would say. Well, no, we're pretty good here. Landman's very good. Jared Verse, very good. So we have that going for us. And then Puka should put up some monster numbers for us here. So I'm excited to see that. I will see you for the mid-season check-in and see how we're doing at this point in the rebuild, or that point in the rebuild. Not this point. This point, we're 0-0. No one's won a game or lost a game yet, because that's how the start of seasons work. So I will see you for that time. Yeah. All right, so mid-season mark, I had to run to the store to get me something to drink. Monster Energy. Delicious. That's good. 0 sugar and everything. So we have some upgrades here. Anything interesting? Dylan Thieneman. We have some upgrades for him. And we're going to go with run support there, trying to make him a scheme fit. And +3 play rec. I do like seeing that. He is a superstar dev. Remember, we got him upgraded to that in the training camp portion of things. Chris Bell up to an 80 overall. We're going to make him a playmaker. And, or I'll try to make him a playmaker. It doesn't really matter with these receivers. They'll end up either slot or deep threat at the end of the day. And Bunch of upgrades done right there. We are 5-2 on the season, so that is very good. And let's go take a look here at these stats and awards. How is Matthew Stafford playing? 11 touchdowns to 4 interceptions at this point in the season. 1,500 yards, almost 1,600. Running attack is doing all right. Nothing special, nothing crazy, I don't think. And then we have Jalen Waddle with some touchdowns. Puka Nacua, only 5 receptions. I'm not sure what's going on there, but Tutu Atwell is eating, I guess, so that's okay. Take a look here at the sacks. 6.5 for Jared Verse, 6 for Kobe Turner, 3 for Byron Young, and then a half sack for a couple players here as well. And then we take a look here, interceptions, Dax Hill with 1, Nate Landman with 1, and Dylan Thieneman with 1. So you do like seeing that. How embarrassing would it be if you saw on the screen it was like pornography or something like that. There's none here. We don't do that here. This is a Christian channel, and we believe in God and not touching yourself. So you right there, I know what you do at night. Let's go see what's going on here. Puka Nacua, what's going on here? Oh yes, I forgot. I must have not turned in. I'm pretty sure I turned injuries off. I'm gonna let you in behind the scenes. What had happened was that I had started the franchise and I forgot to make Matthew Stafford younger. So I had to back out, and I must have forgotten to turn injuries off. So we're still doing pretty good here, even with the injuries on for that little bit here before I noticed that he was injured. So that means that Puka's not going to have a great season, but I am confident this team will make the playoffs. I will see you for the playoffs. I think we're going to make them. And yeah, so I'll see you then. Okay, so the end of the season, we have some upgrades here. Dylan Thieneman, more upgrades for him. And we're still going to focus on run support, trying to get him to be a scheme fit. If we can make that happen, feels like it's not going to happen right now. I'm just going to leave these sunglasses on for the rest of the video, I think. Or as long as I can tolerate them being on my face. So nice upgrades right there. Cam Kitchen with some upgrades. Chris Bell, I'm a little more focused on these rookies I really want to get developed. Chris Bell probably did not expect to have to step in and do a lot this year, but he had to thanks to the Puka injury. We're going to say, you know what? That was Puka being suspended for conduct detrimental to the NFL, and that's a player personnel violation or whatever it's called. He violated he was in violation. All right, he was biting women and saying, maybe he said some more crazy stuff about you know who. I'm not going to get into that on this channel. This is not a political channel. We are not going to get into the theories that Puka Nacua and the hand things that a certain streamer wanted him to do. We're not going to talk about that here. This is a fun place. Get away from the real world. Follow me on Twitter. I do comment on that stuff on Twitter. Or go follow me there if you want to see that stuff. But Matthew Stafford, just under 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, almost 1,000 yards rushing for Kyron Williams, 7 touchdowns. Matthew Stafford with 4 rushing touchdowns. I doubt he would do that now currently. But Chris Bell had a 1,000-yard season. Puka Nacua came back in, played 9 games, so we had a pretty lengthy suspension for his conduct. David Njoku played very well for us. 7 touchdowns on the season for him, so pretty nice distribution of things. Best as you can get in Madden, I would say. This Rams playbook does do that. Might be the first rebuild where I don't have to change anything with the playbooks, but Jared Verse, 15 sacks. Kobe Turner, 12. Byron Young, 6. 3 for Omar Spates. 2.5 for Braden Fiske. I know it's Fisk, but I like saying Fiske. This guy got 2.5. This guy got 2.5. And then everyone else kind of whatever. But interceptions, Nate Landman with 3. Omar Spates with 3. And then 1 for Dax, 1 for Dylan, 1 for Cam, and 1 for Kobe Durant. So we're going to be taking on the San Francisco 69ers. And we're going to go in here, see if we can get this win. I'm not going to play anything unless I absolutely have to. I would prefer not having to play anything if I don't have to. But if I do, I will. You know, skip this moment. We're going to let the CPU handle all this stuff here, see if they can get the job done. Can the computer get the job done? Can Matthew Stafford step up and deliver? And they are in the red zone, and we must have missed the PAT. There's always a missed PAT. Fourth down alert. I guess we'll come in here. I'm going to have to play this off of my OBS screen. So 4th and 5 here. So there might be a little bit of delay. If I don't get this play, you know why I didn't get it. So Stafford here going to take the snap. We're going to find Chris Bell. He holds on to the football. Now we are in the red zone here. We're going to come back in again, and we're going to come back and try to do this. So we have Waddle here. We have Nakua right there in a little bit of a slot position. We're going to get this ball to Jalen Waddle. Waddle going to jump into the end zone. Touchdown. Do you go for 2 right here? They must have gotten it. So we're going to come onto the field again. I'll play some of this. I feel like playing today. Okay, I haven't touched Madden in a little bit. And a lot of you ask, like, hey, don't you like play this? Isn't this should be the thing you do? Look, guys, I've been playing. A lot of your favorite Madden content creators have been playing Madden or football games in general with college football. Have been playing these games now since either July or August. It is April. Excuse people for not wanting to continue to play these games. Okay, at some point, you want to play other stuff, right? I like playing other games. I'm thinking about picking up the Forza Horizon. I might want to play some of that, actually. So that's kind of what I want to do. That's me. Other guys, they like other things. I've been playing NBA 2K. We get a sack right there. It's Nate Landman coming in, getting the sack on Brock Purdy. So we are going to force a field goal here, which is going to set us up with an opportunity to at least tie this football game or at least try to win this football game. And for me, I'm thinking touchdown. You want the 3 points or are you thinking touchdown? I'm thinking touchdown. End of game drive here. We are going to try to march this ball down the field, take as much time off the clock. Yeah, it's not on a Hall of Fame difficulty or all Madden. For the most part, the point of these videos is the rebuilding effort. We're going to go hurry up here. And I liked what we did on that play. I think the blocking worked out pretty nicely for us. We're going to try to run this again. And we're going to pick up that first down again. So there we go. We're going to go hurry up again. And this time, we're going to do a screen off of this play. I think that is what we should do. And we're going to throw this screen. We're going to get some blocks. We're going to get some blocks. We're going to cut it back. Don't want to go out of bounds here. And at this point, we are going to try to take as much time off of this clock as we possibly can. Because that's what we do here. Now the clock doesn't want to go fast. So I want Njoku here on a drag because I don't think they're going to be defending that too good, and they're kind of not. And again, we still want to stay in bounds. We do not want to go out of bounds. Now we're going to let that 2-minute warning hit. We are already in position now to score, and we're still going to take time off the clock here. We have all of our timeouts. We do not need to do anything too crazy here. Chew this clock. And let's get a little bit of motion going in this game here, right? We're going to send Bell into motion. We have Nakua underneath here that I think that's going to be what we're going to look for right away. Yes, it is. And we're going to pick up the first down, and we're letting this time run. We're letting this time run. We are letting this time run here. Really just do not want to score right now. I want to stay out of the end zone and at least run 2 more plays if I can. And we could have scored right there. But I told my guys we are not getting in here to score just yet. Honestly, I kind of don't want to score on this play either. But we're going to have to go. And hey, you know what? Not bad. We're going to go hurry up here. And we're going to let some time run off the clock here on this 3rd down. And we're going to try to go to Bell here for this play, or Nakua, because they have it completely unguarded right here. Sorry this is taking so long, but we're going to let so much time come off this clock because it is 3rd down. If we don't get it right here, we can kick a field goal and go into overtime. So we're going to let the clock run all the way down here. I'm not going to snap it. And what the hell just happened? See, what is going on here? What is going on? EA, this is on like an easy difficulty. This is like a difficulty for kids. What are we doing? What is up with this bumping? Why would he would not run the route this way? He would make sure that he would come underneath Nakua. So what happens here is both players get taken out of the play. Why is this so common in these fucking games? Why is this something that always happens? Like, I do not get all the bumping and shit. That needs to be fixed in Madden 27. I do not understand, because that's not how he would run the route. He actually runs it wrong. You don't, on this route, since it's man coverage, he can take as long as he wants to get in the end zone here. He doesn't have to. All he has to do is stutter step, let Nakua get across, and he's in for the score. We're going for it. We are going for it right here. We are going to try to win this football game right here and right now. I probably should have did that anyways. And there we go. Kyron Williams in for the score. There is 1 second left. 1. We are staying in the game because I do not trust the game to not do any funny business here. Because the game likes doing funny business. And we're going to kick this ball. In it goes, 21-17, 1 second left. That's not that impressive because I didn't do it on like a super hard difficulty or anything. But at this point, we are just going to kick this thing out of the back of the end zone and then play some defense and try to win this football game. Sorry for this taking like almost 10 minutes of the rebuild up. I'll try not to jump into these too often because this does take time. But again, I just felt like doing it because these rebuilds are going to be a little bit shorter and quicker because these teams are already like good. So I don't expect us to have to do that. So incomplete pass, ball falls to the dirt. Purdy and the 49ers do not get the job done. The Rams get the job done. Moving on to the divisional round. The 49ers lose again. Let's go see who we're playing in the divisional round. Okay, so we are back again. Here, well, what do you mean back again? We haven't gone anywhere. Same rebuild. I mean, what am I talking about here? Taking on the Lions here, divisional round. Let's see. I don't know. We should be able to beat. I'm gonna try not to jump in this one. I feel like we should beat the Lions, but you never know what could happen here. Here, back at SoFi Stadium, and let's see. So we get a stop right there. I don't like how incompetent your offense seems in like play the moment sim. It's very annoying. And there we go. We're up 10-0 here. I was just kind of running my mouth and up 17-0 here. What are the Lions going to do? They're going to battle back. I know they are. And the Lions sticking in it here. We're up 24-3, 24. There we go. 24-3. We pretty much, go wire to wire here and lead this game. And we beat Dan Campbell and these Detroit Lions for a trip to the NFC Championship game. Let's go see who we're going to be playing in that NFC Championship game. I'm fascinated to see who we're going to play. Let's go finish this game and go see who we're playing. I just came downstairs. Came from downstairs. I had to go get my Amazon package. I'm not telling you what it was. You'll have to figure it out. Someone comments on what they think my Amazon package is, and you're correct. I don't know. But either way, take it on the Seahawks, a rematch of the last NFC Championship game. So very good stuff here, and our next rebuild after this one. It is what it is. That is our next rebuild team. I again made it very clear the goal. I decided late here. The goal is to rebuild all the teams. We are well on our way to doing that. Sorry for hitting you guys over the head with so many rebuild videos and not a lot of franchise stuff. Again, it's April. I kind of just don't feel like playing a franchise, thing right now. I hope you can kind of like understand that. I've been doing that again since August. So it's time for rebuilds and then talking about potentially Madden 27. So let's go see what will happen here as we take on the Seahawks here. Again, unless I truly just feel like it, I'm going to try to not jump in. And kind of just let the CPU kind of do it, because this is what it's about. It's about the CPU and their ability to, you know, perform the team I built. So we are up 14-7 here against this Seahawks team, and 2-minute drill, and we're up 21-7, up 28-7 here. But can the Seahawks put together a comeback? That offense, lots of good players there. Can they do it? They have the offensive firepower to do it. But right now, it looks like we are just going to salt this game away here. 33-14, going for an onside kick. Does not matter. There we go. We are going back to the Super Bowl here. 33-14 as we defeat the Seahawks. We deny them their bid to go back to back here. And there we go. We are moving on. Let's go take a look at the stats before I talk too quickly. Player stats here. I'm keeping these sunglasses on. I think I look cool. Matthew Stafford, 20 for 27, 4 touchdowns, 259 yards. I mean, just a dog. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Run game just kind of never does well in play of the moment sim. And then 4 touchdowns here, though. Kyron Williams with a touchdown. Jalen Waddle, a touchdown. Chris Bell, a touchdown. And Puka Nacua, a touchdown. So you know what? Maybe Chris Bell redeemed himself from that mistake he made in a divisional round game. Or was that the wild card game? The wild card game. But also maybe him playing in the absence of Puka, who was suspended for his conduct. Maybe that helped him. I don't know. But Braden Fisk, 2 sacks. Kobe Turner, a sack and half sack for Dylan Thieneman. Byron Young, Omar Spates, and Dax Hill. And then Dylan Thieneman had an interception, and Kobe Durant had an interception as well. So very good stuff right there for this team. Let's go see who we're going to be playing in the Super Bowl from the AFC. Okay, so post NFC Championship game here, update here, and it's going to be for Chris Bell, who is going to go up to an 85 overall here. So that is pretty nice for us. He's developed quite nicely in this rookie season. And Dylan Thieneman here, do we finally get him to a scheme fit? We do not get him up to a scheme fit, but he's still progressing along very, very, very nicely so far here up for us. And he's played well. He's performed well in the sim. So I think that was a good pick. He seems to be making a pretty good impact each time we look at kind of what he does in these games when we simulate it. So we do like to see that. Someone won an award, so let's go see who did. They'll probably tell us here. And what do we got here? Just looking back. Don't forget about your, I always like saying that. Don't forget about your impact. And someone did something. It's an offensive player, so I'm not sure who won an award. Maybe Chris Bell. Actually, he did play very well for us. He had 1,000-yard receiving, so there's a good chance he won an award. Bo Nix ends up winning MVP. He actually does quite well in the sim, I've noticed. So offensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year. Nope, that goes to Ty Simpson. So someone won an award. I'm not sure who, and it was not any of our guys. Best receiver, nope. O-line, D-line. It mentioned offense, so it could not have been about anyone else. So I don't know. Someone won an award. So take a quick look here. We're playing the Bills, by the way, in the Super Bowl, in case anyone's wondering. I'm not even sure why I glossed over that, because that's kind of what you care about. But we're going to do that, and we're going to take a quick gander over at the roster page just to see, did anyone win anything? We have some upgrades to do right here. None of these guys would have won an award, so none of those guys matter. I mean, they do matter. They're good people, I'm sure. I'm sure their families love them. But, you know, did someone win an award? Chris Bell, he's still a star dev guy, or he's still normal dev, so I don't know. I don't know who won an award, because I don't see anything that's out of the ordinary, so I'm not sure. We're going to play the Bills, though, in the Super Bowl. Let's get into this real quick and see if maybe we get blown out. If we get blown out, we get blown out. If we don't, then maybe we win the Super Bowl. And then this will only be a 2-year rebuild because, again, I don't need to do 4-year rebuilds for teams that are already, rebuilt. But we are trailing here. Can our team get back into this football game? They get a touchdown right there. We can go down the field. We're down 21-7 here. 2-minute drill, get some points. We're going to come in, because I doubt you really care that much if I come in and play this stuff. This is just kind of something I'm thinking about more than you guys. But, you know, I do like to see if we can see with all this bumping stuff that is going on here. I don't know who on the dev team thought, hey, let's have a bunch of bumping and running into each other. I don't know what pro lost the tournament game because people are running mesh. I get you're trying to get people to not run as much mesh. But then make the other fucking routes work better then. You know, if you don't want people running mesh and shit constantly in tournaments. The reason why people run that stuff is because it works. You know why it works? Because everything else doesn't work, right? You're constantly nerfing shit. You're constantly nerfing stuff, and then people are going to run what works. What works? Mesh. What works? Crossers. What works is what always works in these, you know, EA football games. We'll call it timeout right here. Sorry for getting a little angry right there, but I'm just being honest here. You know, it's one of the most annoying things. What consistently is open? Underneath routes, right? Because every other route, by the time we get to like November, you've patched and strengthened all the coverages to a point where we should have Nakua right here, and this should be a touchdown. What was it? I just lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I believe eventually they buff all of the coverages to a point where they can, you know, take away stuff, where you have linebackers taking away multiple routes in a fucking zone. Well, it's in the area of the zone. That's not how it really works, okay? So we're back in this game. I'm not going to play any defense. We're down again. We're still down. We were down anyways after I scored that touchdown, but we're going to try to get back in this football game. I'm going to keep playing as much offense as I can. Maybe that'll be the deal. I'm going to put a man in motion here. We're going to try to get to Waddle. I'm going to see if Waddle can beat his man off here. He's going to get pressed a little bit. He's still getting bumped here to the point where, like, that's, like, PI. Like, that's, like, actually PI. That's well past 5 yards. But whatever. We're going to run this football here. I appreciate my center never getting off the double team block right there. I mean, and that's a good rep. I mean, I'm sure your coach will fucking tell you did a great job, asshole, but you should have got off the block and went and blocked the fucking linebacker right there. So let's see. We'll throw this football right here to Puka Nakua, and he's going to get knocked into the end zone. Stafford melting down. They're going to call it time. This is something they've added in a recent patch where if you do hurry up, they immediately call a timeout. So I'm sure, honestly, and they probably think that's a really good thing to do for strategy. But if you're thinking about it, I could do this multiple times at certain times and probably just get the CPU to drain all of their own time, all of their timeouts. So that's probably not something you should add to the game. There's no point in calling that right there. So we're down 31-21. Our defense needs help again. So defense just not getting enough stops here today against Josh Allen, who is apparently what? It's the Super Bowl, right? Really important game. Why am I getting a 4th and 11 here? So we're going to do that. 3 interceptions for Stafford. This is like vintage Detroit Lions Matthew Stafford. This is like big game. This is like the Lions could go over 500 and then Matthew Stafford would come out and throw 3 interceptions, and all of the Stafford stands would be like, well, you know, it's actually not his fault. It's everyone else's fault. I remember when Matthew Stafford was that guy. He was very much that guy. He was known as that guy. Anytime there was a big game, big game Stafford. I was there. All right, I was there on ground zero for that stuff with Matthew Stafford. Stat Patford. Right? Everyone remembers that. If we can get a stop here, 3rd down alert. We're still in this game, and we have all of our timeouts. But my question is, why are you giving me a 4th down? All right, why are you giving me that? Njoku can't get turned around there. Why are you giving me 4th down? Like, that's like my one complaint with play the moments. I'm not going to do that. Why are you constantly giving us 4th and 3rd downs? Like, in big games. Like, and I get why. I'm not really. So we're definitely not going to win the Super Bowl. I get why they do it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that no one on this current dev team worked on the original version of Play the Moments, is my guess. So they don't know what any of this code does that's currently in the game. Like, they don't know that if they were to tweak something, if what that would change, right? That would probably break something, right? That's how video game development works. You work on one thing, and then you can we just go? I don't need Stafford playing with his hands. So we do have a touchdown right here. Waddle, touchdown. If they could have gotten a stop, we could have got back in this football game. We're down 10. We're not going for the onside kick. So we lose the Super Bowl to the greatest quarterback of all time, according to EA, and that's Josh Allen, Mr. Can't win an AFC championship game or beat Bo Nix in the playoffs. So we're going to have to come back here and put this team back together. We're going to have to see what the hell Matthew Stafford was doing, throwing a bajillion interceptions to this ass water Bills secondary. There's no reason he should have thrown that many interceptions. But that is what Matthew Stafford tends to do in big games more often than not. He throws interceptions. So 4 touchdowns to 3 interceptions here. I didn't throw any of those interceptions, so that's not on me. Chris Bell, a great game. Jalen Waddle, a great game. Puka Nacua, a great game. David Njoku was awesome. Defense got some sacks here. Could not turn them over, but, Matthew Stafford could not throw. He threw interceptions to kind of bums. Matt Milano, who was probably still rated way too highly in Madden, he's definitely a guy that has begun to fall off. Was a great player for many years. Clearly not as good as he used to be. Maxwell Harrison, not sure why he's rated so highly. And then Terrell Bernard with an interception. So, I'm not sure what Stafford was doing here. Stafford loses us the Super Bowl. So let's go try to put this thing back together and see what we can do to try to come back and win another one. So post Super Bowl here, we have some retirements. It's Darius Williams. I didn't even know he was on the roster. Retires. Nothing too serious right there for us. We didn't win any awards. So I don't know what's going on here. But we do have some upgrades for some players. I'm assuming someone got some upgrades for some milestones they maybe had. Nope, I don't think they did. I don't think anyone won anything. So I'm not sure why that. I am hitting upgrade all players and it's not doing it. Okay. Why are these menus so non-responsive? This is on a PS5. What what are you guys, and this isn't like a thing where, it's more responsive on PC. Cause I know I've seen C4 talk about this, I believe he plays on PC, about how unresponsive the menus are. So this isn't like a PC thing or a PlayStation thing or anything like that. Why would I take a Sam linebacker in the first round? Why would 2 teams take a Sam linebacker in the first round? What's going on here? What is going on here? Let's go to re-signings. Okay, so we have some big re-signings here. Jared Verse, we are going to accept that 5th-year option for him. Matthew Stafford, we're going to have to negotiate with. Kobe Turner. Omar Spates is like, I don't want to be here anymore, which is like, fine, go yourself. We have a lot of guys we have to re-sign. Basically, our entire offensive line, we got to try to figure out how to bring back. A punter who is probably going to I don't know if I want, $6 million. Can you give me 6.2? It's like, beat it, dude. You punt the ball when we didn't score points. Like, why are you making this difficult? Either way, Puka Nacua, 6-year deal, and we give him a ton of money. We pay him a lot of money. We are going to, oof. This is, okay, hold on. Stafford, we are going to negotiate with our defensive tackle first. We're going to try to bring him back. And Kobe Turner is going to be back, one of our most important defensive players. We have to bring him back. It is imperative that we bring him back. Steve Avila, we're going to bring him back as well. It is imperative that we get these guys signed, sealed, delivered for us. And Stafford, we can just put a franchise tag on. I am not going to sit here and have to worry about signing tackles and guards, because for more often than not, the tackles and guards in the free agency pool usually are not very good. I do not want to have to go through that. So for me, it is more important to get all of these guys signed, even Kevin Dotson. It's important to get him re-signed for 3 years and a ton of money, right? $24 million a year. Oh, he wants to test free agency. Okay. I don't think a guard would turn down basically a guaranteed $24 million a year for 3 years. No one would do that. That's not how the NFL works, Madden. No one's going to pay him any more than that. So, okay, that's fine. I can take that money and I can go to Omar Spates. Say, hey, Omar, do you want to play for me? Oh, he wants to play for a new team. Really? Multi-year deal for a weak inside linebacker. He's turning that down. Okay. All right. You, Byron Young. This is probably way too much money to offer a guy who's this mid and this old. But he's going to come back. He's willing to come back. So, you know, Emmanuel Forbes, is this an important guy to bring back? I think he is. So we got to bring back Emmanuel Forbes. And we're going to give him, you know, some money here. And he's happy to keep playing for us. So there we go. That's basically all we can do re-signing wise. Now, I'd like to bring back our center, who is 32 years old. So we might have to go draft the center instead. I guess Stafford. We're going to have to franchise tag him. And we're going to have to offer him a deal that he can actually sign. So he can turn it down. Why can't I just hit franchise tag? Is that an option? We'll just... No, I can't. I can't just hit franchise tag. He has to reject the offer first before I can franchise tag him. Because how unintuitive these Electronic Arts games are. There are times where you play these games where you just almost wonder if the people who work on them are aware of how like stupid they are, or is the Frostbite whatever engine that bad? But he's going to test out for you. He didn't like that offer. I don't give a shit, pal. You're getting franchise tagged. $71 million. Oh boy. So there we go there. We could have franchise tagged some other players, but we're going to have to tag Stafford. And we are going to move on here. So we did bring back Stafford to make another go at things. So what are we going to do here? How do I want to extend out this rebuild and make it more fun? Last rebuild, or the rebuild before the last one, and the Eagles rebuild, I did some crazy things, and you know what? I'm doing that here too. We're going to have some fun. Let's have some fun. Matthew Stafford, you have annoyed me with throwing all of those goddamn interceptions in the Super Bowl. I'm shipping you the hell out of here, pal. Get out. Go away. We do not want you here anymore. All right? You are not someone we want. The Cardinals are like, hey, we'll take him. The Jaguars are like, hey, we're tired of Trevor Lawrence. Do you want to do a swap? I don't want Colton Hood. We're doing a swap. Will they agree to a swap with us? Right? Let's see, are they willing to do this? I was gonna put my team over the cap. Okay. Where did the U come from? We're gonna find a way to do this. I'm sure I have a running back I can throw in. You want Blake Corum? So I have to give someone who's like getting paid like $5 million a year. Let's go find someone who's getting paid like $5 million a year that I kind of don't want anymore. And that's Colby Parkinson. Jesus Christ, I still have to find another player. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. Tutu Atwell. All right, here's Matthew Stafford, Colby Parkinson, Tutu Atwell for Trevor Lawrence and a bunch of picks. I hate this game. I really hate this game. I hate this game so much. This game is so stupid at times. So you know what? Fine. Take off that pick. Take off that pick. Jesus Christ. They can't just like release, you can't just have a separate where they'll release a player after the fucking trade. You can't do that, can you, EA? But now we're gonna have to, here, give me this guy. No, I need someone who's like making $2 million. Sorry, this is gonna take a little bit. You're gonna watch the entire process of this because EA is a bunch of morons when it comes to this shit. So can I find someone making $2 million? You have no one that's making $2 million? Colton Hood's making 1.87. Here's Bashal Tootin. Okay, how am I gonna have to do this? 600K. I don't care if I'm over. Just see 2K. Like 2K, I'll give 2K. They do a thing where like you have to release a player after the trade. We could simply just release a player after the trade, but because this game is so like stupid, I have to find someone making $5 million that I want to make this work. Because this game is so stupid. Let's find someone making $5 million. Do you have anyone making? No, you don't. This is really annoying because I want to do this. I want to do like a swap here. I want to do like a swap. Here's David Njoku. Does that work? Nope. I still have to find like, God damn it. I hate this game so much. Take Colby Parkinson. Why? Why? So screw it. We're not doing that because this game is annoying me right now. And this is taking too long. I don't really mind if this takes long. You know what? I don't even want my first round pick. I actually do want my first round pick. You can have my first round pick next year and you can have my second round pick this year. Can I get rid of Matthew Stafford and do a swap for a quarterback? That's what I want to do. Because Matthew Stafford annoyed me. Throwing all of those interceptions. Also, how are teams over the cap? It's a new league year. Teams should not be over the cap. How are they all over the cap? Are they stupid here at EA? Teams should not be over the cap like this. This is not something that should like be a thing. These teams should 100% not be over the cap. They have pick 21. Who has like a top pick that was like, you know what? We stupidly still think we can compete. Look at all these teams over the cap. Like that should not be a thing. Maybe the Browns. Okay, so we're sending Matthew Stafford to the Browns for a 2028 first round pick and a 2027 second round pick, and we get their first pick, which is pick number 2 in the draft. We have no money. We are in cap hell. We have traded Matthew Stafford to the Browns for his insolence. We have told Matthew Stafford that, you know what, pal? I hope you like it in Cleveland. We hope you like Cleveland. Enjoy Cleveland. I can't criticize Cleveland. I live in Milwaukee. I live in the Midwest. I have lots of kinship, if you will, towards the fellow Midwest cities out there. So there is a quarterback in this draft class. We're going to have to go and see if he's any good when we go and do that scouting. That is what we're going to do. I'm going to take another drink here. And someone's probably going to complain about this. Someone's like, this is completely unrealistic. This isn't what you should be doing. Well, it's what we're doing, bitch. So, you know, it's what we're doing. We're going to look at these quarterbacks and try to, bring them in. We will need a weak inside linebacker. And, there is one right there. Shelton looks okay-ish. He doesn't have good finesse moves, but coverage ratings look pretty good. All these coverage ratings actually look pretty good on these guys. We're going to look at JT Rucker. We're going to assume that JT will still be on the board when we get to our second first-round pick. So that's just kind of what that is. They look at these prospects. We looked at some quarterbacks. And, yeah, round 2 to 3. None of them are great, but we're going to have to take a quarterback. We're going to have to hope this one's good. Juan Beltran. 6'4" from Ohio State. And there is a way, I forgot which one it is. You can see someone's dev trait based off of these. There's all sorts of little traits that are in the game that you can figure out with these player notes. They aren't there just for no reason. But both of those quarterbacks, you know, it's the NFL. You're gonna have to take a quarterback who's maybe not a true round one guy. JT Rucker, though, is a round 2 to 3 talent. That's where he's projected to go, but he looks pretty good actually in terms of his athleticism. And his play rec is a B, man coverage is an A, zone coverage is an A. Looks fine actually. Take a look at Rucker one more time. Disciplined player who rarely gets flagged. Now, if I'm correct, there is a way to figure out what the hell that means. And I forgot which. There's a Reddit post. Sorry, you're probably seeing it right on here. Someone does have it. Disciplined player who rarely gets whatever. That should be a superstar. Disciplined player who rarely gets flagged. JT Rucker should be a superstar. We will find out in the draft because I do plan on drafting him. But let's get into the draft here. We're going to have to take a quarterback after we've traded away Matthew Stafford. I made a big stink about making sure he didn't retire, but since he decided to throw 3 interceptions in the Super Bowl, we have decided to move on from him because we do not respect people throwing interceptions like that in a Super Bowl. Juan Beltran. Now, nothing mentions his there's no mention of his discipline. If I'm correct, for some players, that could mean X Factor. So Juan Beltran might be an X Factor. Might be an X Factor. There's a chance he's an X Factor. They did not mention his discipline at all. And usually that could mean X Factor. So we could have a young X Factor here. We're going to come back now. Take a look around. What do we want to do? Quarterback still on the board. We're going to need a new weak inside linebacker. And all these other ones are still here, right? Lacks discipline. So he's probably not that good. This one. And there is no mention of discipline for him. But JT Rucker, something about him I like. We're going to take JT Rucker here. We're going to see here if he has a hidden dev trait as well. And he does have hidden dev trait. So we are betting that JT Rucker potentially has superstar X Factor. We are betting that the quarterback potentially has superstar X Factor. We do not pick again till the 3rd round because I believe we traded that pick to the Browns when we made that trade. So we come all the way back here to the draft in the 3rd round. Now, this was a draft class that, you know, again, like most Madden draft classes, was very good with defensive tackles again. And I think, again, we're going to take a look here at defensive tackles. And we're going to see what we got here. There's around 1 to 2 defensive tackle. Devontae Florence. Nose tackle. I'm going to draft him. I didn't even notice if it said anything about his discipline. But he is a normal dev, so it probably said gets, you know, flagged or something like that. Struggles to disengage from blocks. Whatever it is, we drafted him. We'll see. That probably means he has a low, probably meant he had a low block shed rating if it says struggle to disengage from blocks. That'll have to get better, of course. But we're going to take a look around here. Is there any more corners? Because that is what I had them focus on. Is just at times some of the corners just kind of, I feel like this year the corners are like too bad. Last year the corners were really good. Now they're just like kind of crap. But this corner, Nathan Bryson, great speed, 4.37 at his college pro day, elite acceleration. Everything looks really good here. Lacks discipline resulting in avoidable penalties, which means he probably either is normal dev or potentially star if he does have a dev trait. But he's rigged number 59 in true value. Normal dev trait. Play rec is a C. That'll have to get better. B, man coverage. Zone coverage is a D. So that will also have to get better. But I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest of the draft, and I'll see you for the draft. Draft recap. We did pretty good with all our picks, I think. Juan Beltran, we are going to go just take a look at these right now. It's not like this is a franchise where this is something I care about. I'm kind of interested to just kind of see what his dev trait is. And it's star, actually. So maybe that thing is not correct. But He's going to wear number 9. We have already given away Matthew Stafford's number. He has embarrassed this franchise with his poor play in the Super Bowl. We did not appreciate throwing 3 interceptions. We should have won that game. But JT Rutger, number 45, and he is superstar. So that was a good pick right there. We like that pick. We like that pick a lot. And Devontae Florence had normal dev, and Nathan Bryson also had normal dev. Archer May, normal dev, and then Grant Brayton, also with normal dev. He's turned his back to us for some reason. I will see you when I'm finished with training camp. And yeah, I'll see you when I'm finished with training camp for year number 2 of this rebuild. So we have some upgrades here to do. Just went through our training camp, and we have 7 upgrades for Juan Beltran. And he looks good. Only has star dev right now, but if he plays well, and we have a lot of good receivers here, so there's no reason not to believe that he shouldn't put up some good numbers his rookie year. If he can win an award or anything like that, he'll easily be in position to, I think, do very well, get a dev trade upgrade via a milestone or via winning an award, right? They kind of like hand out dev trade upgrades like candy in these games. Even if you have like camp counselor and things like that, you can actually get dev trade upgrades, I believe, even through simulating, which I have gotten before. So just simulating the drills, you can get those. But he does have star dev. He is up to an 80 overall, 96 throw power. Awareness is a 74. Accuracies are pretty good. And yeah, everything looks pretty good with him, actually. So I actually think that was the right move for us to do. So all these other upgrades here, JT Rutger, who we took. I'm going to be honest with you, I only did like 2 drills. I'm not in the mood to deal with drills, honestly. It's April. We are down to our final 2 rebuilds here, this one and the Seahawks one we got coming up here. But Rutger, get some good upgrades. We know he's a superstar. He's up to a 76 overall. He should perform pretty well when he gets on the field. Pursuit is really good. Play rec is really good. Awareness is really good, already at an 82. 85 speed, 88 acceleration. He should be a stud for us. Dylan McMahon, going to be our starting center this year. We got a dev trade upgrade for the one offensive lineman drill that we did with him. Little thing I want for Madden 27, I would like to see more offensive lineman drills in the training camp thing. That's already tough enough to develop linemen. We need some drills that are specifically for guards, and we need some drills that are for tackles as well. I want to see some more drills added on right there. So up to a 70 overall, up to a star dev, still only his 3rd year, still relatively young, and should be cheap to re-sign as we are developing him. So we are going to do all of that stuff, do those upgrades, and I will see you for the start of year number 2. Okay, so I could have swore I re-signed Kevin Dotson, but he's not here. So I really could have swore I re-signed him. I can't. I know the game likes to do this stupid little thing where players retire after the retirement period because they try to add it like to real life. You know, sometimes players wait to. Don't add that shit in, especially if you're not going to inform. Especially if I'm re-signing them. Like, I'm not sure why that needs to be like explained to someone at EA. Of like, you know, don't do stupid shit like that. I'm sure someone who has gone there to like the community day has like kind of explained to them that's stupid. And it's probably another situation of, oh, well, we don't really know how the code works, so that's why we do that shit. Either way, here's the team. We're an 85 overall because my face is covering up. We're an 85 overall. Team is mostly the same, except Matthew Stafford is now a Cleveland Brown. Offensive line, still mostly fine, honestly. Defensively, we are also pretty good here. A little bit different at weak inside linebacker with JT Rutger. But defensive line, pretty good here, honestly. And we have some young players right here in Florence, who is coming up here. Cornerback room is mostly fine. Some young players. Safety room looks pretty good as well. So I expect this team to do well. We're going to try to get back to the playoffs. Going to try to get back to the Super Bowl. and going to try to win. And hopefully we have a quarterback that's not Matthew Stafford that is going to throw 3 interceptions in the Super Bowl and lose it for us. So that's what we're hoping for. I'll see you in the playoffs. All right, midseason check-in. I decided to do one anyways because I had to set my scouting. So we might as well go take a look. We're 7-0. Juan Beltran, 16 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. A little bit of a struggle right there. A lot of that probably has to do with the fact that he's still a rookie. That awareness rating isn't as high, but still playing pretty well for us. And then Kyren Williams. This is maybe the best season I've seen one of my running backs have at the midseason point. Really ever during one of these rebuilds. Almost 700 yards rushing. So the offensive line is holding up pretty well. Chris Bell playing well. Puka playing well. Jalen Waddle playing well. David Njoku still playing well. Yeah, good stuff right there. Defensively, we are doing all right. Kobe Turner, who we did re-sign, 9 sacks. Braden Fisk, 4.5. Byron Young, 4. Jared Verse, 3. We just paid you, pal. What's going on here? I'm expecting a little bit more, but JT Rucker playing well. 2 sacks so far. Would like to see an interception or something there, but 2 interceptions here for both for Landman and Kobe Durant. Dax Hill with an interception, Quentin Lake with 1, and Nathan Bryson, our rookie, with 1 as well. So playing pretty well. We're going to. I'll see you for the playoffs. I feel confident we're going to make them at 7-0. That would be a horrific collapse if we don't. Okay, so we go 15-2. Let's go take a quick look at some upgrades before we get into those stats. We did pretty well. 7 upgrades from Juan Beltran here, and he is progressing very nicely. We do like to see that. Again, I think it makes a lot of sense for us to move on from Stafford. Now, we could have did that a year sooner, but I think Stafford has 1 more year in him in real life. I think he'll play 1 more year, try to get that 2nd Super Bowl, and granted, you see the stuff with Puka Nacua. I mean, that's like a weird grenade toss into that locker room right now because, boy, oh boy, he seems to be self-destructing here, and I feel like the league should probably suspend him for like a game or 2, but I know the NFL Players Union will fight that tooth and nail. I get that's the point of a union, to fight for the players, but I think sometimes the union kind of trips over its own dick, and sometimes some players just need to get disciplined. And I think Puka's a guy who I think we've reached that point where this is all in real life I'm talking about. I think it's probably time to, sit him down for a couple games and kind of just tell him to just cool it a bit. Because, he has potential to be a big-time face of the league. He seems like a really cool, fun guy, but he has got to get it together. So I hope he can for his sake. I hope this isn't like one of those, Antonio Brown-esque crash outs that you see from guys. I know some people blame that on, CT, but I think from everything you've read about Antonio Brown, he seemed like he was always kind of a POS. I'm not saying Puka has gone down that route exactly. He has not committed to anything that has come close to what we have heard about Antonio Brown. So I hope that never happens. But he's got to get it under control because too much on the line. He's close to a big-time extension. We just gave him a big-time extension here in the game. As we're going through, doing some upgrades here, Chris Bell has progressed very nicely for us. Has progressed very well for us as our wide receiver number 2 or 3. Really, I mean, he could be our wide receiver 2 here. I think Jalen Waddle's contract might be up. So Dylan McMahon, our starting center, he has some upgrades here. We are going to put those on him. He has progressed very nice for us as he has gotten on the field finally. And so offensive line has held up pretty good so far. We had to pay a lot of those guys. Might end up having some more holes on the offensive line if anyone else retires. I'll have to check the retirement phase and the phase after that because the game likes to just have sneak retirements. But 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions for Juan Beltran. Really good rookie season. 1,400 yards for Kyren Williams. So you do like to see that as well. Receiving Chris Bell, 1,300 yards. He has become our wide receiver number 1. I think a lot of that is because he keeps getting placed in the slot. So, but either way, he is playing very well for us. You do love to see it here. So, almost an 100 receiving reception season for him. So, good stuff as well. In terms of sacks, we have multiple players in double digits here. Byron Young, 14.5. Kobe Turner, 13.5. Jared Verse, 13. Braden Fisk with 10. JT Rucker, almost with 10 sacks on the season. Shane Dolak with some sacks as well. So you love to see that. A lot of sack production on this team. And then 2 interceptions for Landman, 2 interceptions for Quentin Lake, 2 interceptions for Kobe Durant. Thiedemann with no interceptions this year. That's a little disappointing, but I feel like he will play better once we get into the play the moment sim. So we're going to see who we're playing in the divisional round after this. All right, we are playing the Seahawks again here in the playoffs in the divisional round. We are just going to simulate that. See if we get past it. Can we beat the Seahawks? And we do. On to the NFC Championship game we are, and we are facing the Detroit Lions again. This is an interesting kind of go through this time because usually I see the Packers in here a little bit more, but this time it's been the Seahawks. And we kind of always see the Lions here in these rebuilds. And there we go. So we have some more upgrades we are going to put onto these players. So a bunch of upgrades right there. Someone's name is censored, not sure why, but taking on the Detroit Lions, 15-2 versus what, 12-5. I believe that's what their record was. Let's see if we can win this NFC Championship game, go back to our second straight Super Bowl, and can we get a Super Bowl victory here? So red zone alert, I'll come in and play this one. You know, not going to do it all the time. We're going to come in and play this one here with Juan Beltran. We're going to see if we can hit Njoku here. Try to get out here with a little bit of speed. And we'll just have to throw it underneath here to Chris Bell. Because if that was Matthew Stafford, we're probably getting sacked. So this is a play that we ran last time. We ran it. Might have been against the Lions, honestly. They did not run it right. But we're going to put this one in front of Bell, and he comes down with it. Through some pretty heavy contact, actually. So he comes down with that one. Looking like Bengal playing flag football. And we're not going to step in here for a little bit here. We're going to see what the CPU can do on its own. 2-minute drill, get some points. Can they? No, they cannot. Big third down, make a stop. Can we get the ball back? We're going to come in here and play this one. Fourth quarter, we are going to come in. And Njoku, I want him just running a drag. I don't want him running like a double move on a drag. We're just going to run a drag here. Njoku open and picks up the first down. There we go. So Juan Beltran gets the first down right there. We're tied up. Red zone alert. We're going to come back in. Another play action boot here. We're going to try to run this one. We're going to see if we can get this one to Nakua. We're going to try to throw one up to him here. I don't know if we have hit him yet for a big play. And oh boy, what a move by Puka Nakua right there. You saw the big X light up under his feet. We are back in here again. We're going to come back in here. Score some easy points. For the most part, they are getting down the field on their own. I want this to be a little bit shorter, actually. I want to run this little short cross. Instead, we're going to get out of bounds, and boy, Aiden Hutchinson came barreling down on us right there, right away. Not much we could do. Let's see what we can do here. Set a man in motion. We're going to try to go to Bell again. And we do go to him, and into the end zone he goes. Chris Bell gets his second touchdown of the day, and this one really opens up this game a little bit here late in this fourth quarter. They're going to go for it. Game is on the line. We're going to see, can we get him off the field? Game is on the line again. I would definitely not run that play at all. They have some timeout. No, they are out of timeout. So we're just going to come out and dime and try to pressure them here. See if we can get to Goff. And we do get to Goff. JT Rucker with the play. There we go. They definitely cannot spike this. This has to be a play they actually run. So we're going to try to get them here. Young throws that one away. And we're just going to come back and kind of just call the same exact thing. Cover 2 man, out of dime. We are going to try to bring some heat here on him a little bit here. Stafford, 3rd and 17. They're going to send. They're going to move Gibbs around. He's making all these little adjustments here. And There we go. And down. Oh, I thought we had him right there for a safety. Somehow gets that one away. I don't want to double anyone right here. Yeah, so we're going to call that. Again, we are going to assume they're going to try to throw this football. I mean, they have to. 4th and 17, Goff. That's going to be incomplete. 1st and goal. We're going to take over there. Out of timeouts, and that's going to do it. I don't need to come in and do that. We are moving on to the Super Bowl again. We are going back to the Super Bowl. 21-15 here. We're going back with a different quarterback. And can we get another ring, bring another Lombardi trophy to LA? I doubt the people would care because, you know, LA is a city of transplants. So, you know, you have a bunch of different football fans living in LA. They're not all Rams fans. Juan Beltran, 3 touchdowns, 19-33. Again, rushing attack was whatever. Chris Bell with 2 touchdowns. Puka Nacua had a sick move on his touchdown. And then the sacks. Byron Young, 2 sacks. Poona Ford, 2 sacks. Jared Verse, a sack. JT Rucker, a sack. Braden Fisk, a sack. Kobe Turner, a sack. Interception by Dax Hill. Interception by Kobe Durant. So let's go see who we're going to be playing in the Super Duper Bowl. Super Bowl, we are taking on the Broncos. The Broncos beat the Bills to get here. Again, Bo Nix, very good performer in the sim engine. We have 2 upgrades here for Chris Bell. Hopefully he's gone up in a dev trade. He has had back-to-back really good seasons. Really, he probably should have got a dev trade upgrade after last season, if we're being honest, but he did not get one. So, yeah. He goes up to Superstar. There we go. Let's see what got him up to Superstar. Offensive Player of the Year, Wide Receiver of the Year. Gets a nice dev trade and some good XP upgrades with that. So he has developed quite nicely for us. Juan Beltran gets an upgrade. He goes up pretty nicely. He now becomes a scheme fit for us. He goes up to Superstar. I'm going to assume he won some awards, and he did. Offensive Rookie of the Year. That gets him up to Superstar Dev. Like I said, it doesn't take much for these guys to get these upgrades. And Devontae Florence, who really I don't think has played much, was a guy we took kind of late in the draft. Defensive tackle, very good. Rookie, already up to an 80 overall. He's barely played for us. So really nice stuff right there. And we are going to take on the Denver Broncos here in the Super Bowl. Are we going to lose back-to-back Super Bowls? I don't know. We'll go and see. But I hope we don't. That'd be very annoying to lose back-to-back Super Bowls. I just build a team here that's like Bills of the 90s where we just lose Super Bowls all the time. That would be very annoying. Better than my first rebuild with the Jets where we didn't even make the playoffs once. So that should tell you everything about the Jets. They stink. And 3-3 tied up here. Defense needs help. Can I get it? There we go. Tie it up 10-10 here, back and forth. Defense needs help. They get a touchdown. I swear every time the defense needs help, they get a touchdown. That is keyword for they are going to score, right? So it's basically you better jump in or they're going to score. Because I feel like I have never seen a situation. What's going on here? I want Njoku to run just a normal drag. We're going to throw this one right here to Njoku. We're going to leap over this guy right here. Breaks a tackle, gets shoved down. And we're going to come in here. And I'm sure the clock's going to hurry up and we're going to go to the 4th quarter. Oh, no, it didn't do that. Very nice. Okay, I enjoy that. So, quarterback, can you get under center, please? Thank you. I throw another drag here to Nacua. Touchdown. We get within a field goal here of this Broncos team, and they just march right down the field. We're going to come on here. We're going to come on Bo Nix's face. No, we are going to come on here and think they're going to run this football. Bo Nix able to get out here. Can we get to him? Kitchens makes a great play. Gets him down. I think Sean Payton would go for this. We'll see if they go for this. I feel like you have to go for this. The Super Bowl, they're going to go for it. And so I'm going to assume, again, that they're going to run this football. This is a little risky doing this, but I think they're going to run it. And they do run it, and they still pick it up. What makes them think I want to keep playing defense here? Okay, so Now they're not going to run the football. We have to get something here because we cannot afford to give up a touchdown. Bo Nix, down he goes. I believe that's Jared Verse. Bring it. No, that's Byron Young because he wears 0. Jared Verse does not wear 0. So we are able to bring them down 2nd and 19. If we can hold them to a field goal, we can go and score a touchdown and win this game. Down goes Bo Nix again. 3rd and 26. At this point, if you're the Broncos, you are not trying to do anything too risky here. You are simply, I believe in real life, you would just hand this ball off and kick a field goal. But you never know. And Bo Nix, down he goes again. Jared Verse with the sack, bringing him down. 4th and 32. That knocks them completely out of field goal range. Maybe they should have just taken the points as opposed to kicking or opposed to picking up that 4th down. If they would have just kicked the field goal right there, they could have potentially just iced this game out. But instead, we're going to get the ball here. 3rd down alert, 3rd and 1. Time winding down a little bit. We are going to start chewing clock. We're going to come on the field here. We're going to chew this clock. We're going to try to take as much clock as we can off of here. And we're going to snap this ball. And we are going to make a really nice move here. Williams going to break a tackle, break another one, gets brought down. Kyron Williams with a nice run right there. This sets us up in great field position here. We're going to just come right back with the play we just ran. Well, not really, but we are going to try to get as much time off this clock as we possibly can here. We do not want to give them too much time, But if we do, we do. We're going to take the score. We score a touchdown. There we go. We go up 24-20. We're going to come on the field, and we're going to try to play some defense. If they're going to score, I would rather them do it with at least 1:20 left. We have all of our timeouts, so that's not too much of a concern. But, oh, man, what a play. Down goes Bo Nix again. This defense is nasty here that we have built. Well, it's already kind of built. This defensive line was already here, but we have developed those players even more. And 24-20 now. We are going to try to get them off the field here. They still have all of their timeouts, so getting them off the field, even that alone, would not, guarantee them anything. And there's a drop right there. You love to see it. We're going to come back out here, 3rd and 15. At this point, they are throwing the football, so we can pass commit right here. Let's see. What does Bo Nix have in store for us right now? They kind of split out the running back a little bit. Bo Nix going to find his running back. I'm not sure who that was. 4th and 10. You're obviously going for it here. I'm surprised that they're even huddling up here, honestly. I feel like this is a no-huddle situation. You would have your 4th down play call ready to go. Bo Nix going to get hit right there as he lets go of the football. The game is not over yet. The game is not over yet. They have all of their timeouts. Yes, we are in field goal position, but that would just put us up 7. We either want a 1st down or we want a touchdown. Kyron Williams is going to ice out this Super Bowl here. That should almost certainly be your Super Bowl dagger right there, and it is. The Rams win another Super Bowl here. We defeat the Denver Broncos 31-20. Took a little bit of an effort right there, but really it was the defense that stepped up late in this one. Sean McVay is a 2-time Super Bowl winner after last year's embarrassment. It was the defense that didn't step up. Well, really it was Matthew Stafford that didn't step up and said, it's Juan Beltran stepping up, winning a Super Bowl here. Matthew Stafford couldn't get it done. We shipped him off to Cleveland, and now we are Super Bowl champions again after shipping off Stafford. Tell me, you go to Cleveland. You get the hell out of here and go there, pal. We won another Super Bowl here. So we're going to try to go back to back to back in terms of getting to a Super Bowl. But really, truthfully, we're going to try to win another one. 15 for 21, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns for Juan Beltran in his first Super Bowl. Very good. Kyron Williams closed it out here for us with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns receiving. Puka Nacua with 2 touchdowns. You love to see that. Defensively, this defense just came alive in that fourth quarter. Dylan Thieneman in a sack. Jared Verse a sack. Cameron Kitchens a sack. 2 for Byron Young. He was big in this game. Couldn't turn over Bo Nix, but either way, we win the Super Bowl 31-20. Let's go try to go back-to-back here. All right, so only one retirement right now, I don't know what the game's going to throw a curveball at me, just have someone retire in secret on me. But Ben Nineman does retire after 10 years in the league. He calls it a career. So let's go take a quick look here. We're going to advance on and take another look at retirements because I know the game likes doing that thing where guys just secretly retire again without you knowing. So we got to go to league transactions. And I'm going the wrong way for Rams, but that's what I like to do. I'm wasting your time. Rams, nope. So that's who retired. We don't have any other secret retirements or anything like that. Well, actually, I'll have to check after this. So we do not have a lot of money to bring players back. But what we are going to have to do is we're going to have to move some money around, which is always possible. Puka Nakua, we just signed him to an extension. We can move some money. Jared Verse, can we not move money? We cannot move money yet for Jared Verse. We can move money for Kobe Turner. And we can move some money here for... Now, the one thing that annoys me, I've mentioned this before, why can't I sign Jared Verse to an extension right now? Like, why can't I give him an extension right this very instant? And then push money from 2028 into 2029 for him, which is what teams do all the time. So it is a little annoying that that's not something I can do right now because it is something people do or teams do. Teams do this. So we're going to move around as much money as we possibly can right now. I would like to bring back Kitchens. Is he willing to come back? And he is. So we do bring back Kitchens. I think he was very big for us. And Braden Fisk is a guy that I want to bring back. And we have to find some more money to move. I would like to bring him back. I think it is somewhat important to have him back. So we're going to have to find even more money to move around. This is very annoying, right? Because I should be able to, truthfully, move money. I should be able to re-sign some guys. And so we're going to free up some money right there. And we're going to free up some money right there with Dax Hill. That should give us just enough money. Just enough to re-sign Braden Fisk, who I do want to keep around here. So we're going to pay Braden Fisk. And that's going to do it. Because we just can't bring back everyone. Alaric Jackson, I'd love to bring back. We just can't do it. So we're going to have to find a tackle in the draft, potentially. Poona Ford, can't do it. Tyler Davis, can't do it. All these guys who we like, I can't do it. Because I can't sign guys to extensions for whatever reason. So that's very annoying. We're going to have to figure out some things with the offensive line. We're in a little bit of a tough spot. I'll figure something out. So we are going to need a new starting center. And what we're going to do is we are going to trade Jaden Waddle away. We have to do it. We just don't. I mean, we have to create some cap space here to get some other players. Waddle only has 1 year left on his deal. He is aging a little bit. And there we go. So we get Parker Brailsford and a 2028 second round pick. And we also move Jalen Waddle, who is very good for us. He's a good player. I hate that I had to move him, but we have to create some cap room, right? We have to do it. These are things that we have to do if we want to try to compete for another Super Bowl. So we have a center now. Did another one of my guys retire without it being in the normal retirement phase of things? Why does this game keep doing this? Like, who thinks this is cute to just have everyone retire in the same fucking week? Someone clearly retired in a different week. Someone retired someplace else because we had another guard and now he's just gone. Or was he a free agent? Am I just stupid? Let's go take a look. Because I feel like Joe Alt. We can't do big money contracts because we're kind of in a weird position here. Yeah, Bo Limer. Should be Lemur. I would like to bring him back. But if I can find someone who's like kind of similar in overall, because really it's about this awareness rating, for a little bit cheaper, I'm going to do it. So what if I give you like around $6 million to be our starting guard for 2 years? No one's going to pay you that type of money except me, pal. And you should take it. So we're going to come back again. I would like to bring back Alaric Jackson. I'd love to do it. But if I can go out here and get Rasheed Walker the next couple years for a little bit cheaper, $19 million a year, we'll give him around $20 million a year for the next 3 years. I think Rasheed Walker would take this money that we're offering. I think this is a very fair offer. I think these are 2 deals we need to do, and we need another tight end. And we need another tight end. And we need another tight end who is relatively cheap. And we're not going to do it because I'll find one in the draft. So we're going to go back here. We need a tackle. We need another guard. Let's evaluate these offers. We get both players. We get Rasheed Walker and we get Layden Robinson. So that does fix our offensive line. We had to trade away Jalen Waddle to do it, but our line is mostly fixed now. So there we go. We kind of are going to have a newish line at center and at right guard and at left tackle. But I think it is a pretty good offensive line. We'll draft maybe another tight end just to have one. Terrence Ferguson will be the starting tight end this year. And then defensively, we're still fine, right? Like, that's the thing. We're still fine here. But I think we don't have to do anything. We're fine. Defensively, we are fine. We are in a good spot here to try to go back-to-back, win another Super Bowl. So I will see you for the draft, because that's all we're doing in free agency, because we have like no money left. We have like $3 million left, and we have $4 million left, but no one is decent going to sign for that. So I'll see you for the draft. Okay, so we are here in the draft now, and we are going to skip ahead because we do not have a first round pick. We do have a second round pick, number 5. I forgot where exactly we got that from. But we are going to make a pick here. Kind of not sure what I want to do here just yet. There are some receivers here who look pretty good. We'll see how much. Did our scouting department do a good job with anything? No, of course not. When do they ever? I don't think I had them really scout receiver that much. But there are some tight ends here who do have first round grades on them. And they shows good discipline, won't get flagged much, so he should be good. Nick Alvarez, we do need another tight end. Elite speed, looks pretty good actually, great agility. We're going to take him here. And he is ranked number 11 in true value, and he should have a hidden dev trait. He does. 88 speed, 87 acceleration at 6'4", 255 pounds. He is a pretty big guy who moves pretty fast. So we do like seeing that. We're going to simulate all the way to our next user pick again. At pick number 32 here. And we're going to look around and see what's still on the board. Still some tight ends here. Defensive tackle here. Josh Redding. We do need another receiver. And Eduardo Guerrero. Michigan. You know, looks okay, but actually looks kind of not good. I like the name just because I'm a wrestling fan. So Eddie Guerrero, that's a cool name. Defensive tackle. I'll always take a spare defensive tackle in these draft classes, in these Madden classes. Rob Hamilton shows good discipline. Discipline won't get flagged much. That means he should have a dev trait. At the very least, should be star or at least superstar. So Rob Hamilton, we're going to draft him as well. 92 strength. Block shedding is a B. His play rec is an A. B awareness, B finesse move. So looks pretty good right there. We're going to come back again here now into the third round. And I think we might try to see if Eduardo Guerrero, which is similar to Eddie Guerrero, very close names, is still on the board. And he is. And we're just going to take him because I like the name. And he is ranked number 130 in true value. And he does have a hidden dev trait. So 6'3", 199 pounds. So pretty big guy for the position. Actually pretty good size for the position. So we'll take him. And we are going to let the CPU do the rest of the draft. I will see you for the draft recap. So, draft recap here. We know Hamilton and Alvarez and Guerrero each have hidden devs. What did the CPU draft us any? Doesn't look like it did with that running back. Spare edge guys. This one does. Troy McLaughlin does have hidden dev. He doesn't look like that good of a player, but he does have hidden dev. So there is that. Jose Lowry, no hidden dev for him. So we have 4 hidden devs out of this draft class. And Brandon Duggan also has hidden dev, left guard. So you do like to see that. He has some 62 awareness, so a lot of work to do with him, but we will try to do that work with him as I go through these drills. This may or may not be the last year of the rebuild. You never know, but like I said, with these ones, if I can win back-to-back Super Bowls, I do like to kind of just call it right there, just because the team's are already really good, so there's not too much rebuilding going on, as opposed to with other teams where it's a little more rebuildy. This is just kind of almost like managing cap and hoping you can hit on these later round draft picks, which we did, right? I mean, I think we got some pretty good players here, 2 almost 80 overall players in the second round. So I think we did well with this draft. Kind of what you need to do if you're a team that has this sort of success. You have to hit on the draft picks. You do have. Okay, so we are back. I was about to say we're live, like I'm live streaming. I'm not. But Eduardo Guerrero has Superstar X Factor. That is very good. I will happily trade Jalen Waddle to get a guy in Eduardo Guerrero with Superstar X Factor. I mean, that's not like what happened. We only drafted Eduardo Guerrero because we had to trade Jalen Waddle. But Eduardo Guerrero, Superstar X Factor, I will absolutely take it. And we are just going to pump all of these upgrades into Playmaker. So honestly, things worked out. We got a center, and it allowed us to draft. That's where we got that second round pick from. We got it from the Saints when we traded Waddle to him. So we got a center, and the second round pick, which allowed us to take that really good tight end. And then we were able to come back later in the draft with our own pick and take Eduardo Guerrero. So it all worked out pretty well for us. Eduardo Guerrero is going to be flirting with a 80 overall, if not outright just being an 80 overall here very soon. And he is going to be an 80 overall. What do you know? 80 overall here, from a 69 all the way up to an 80 overall X Factor. I will absolutely take it. Brandon Duggan, left guard. He is a star dev player, so that is very nice. He should probably be close to a 70 overall when we are done with all of these upgrades. So we're looking pretty good here on the offensive line. I did sign that other lineman, but Brandon Duggan might end up starting, or honestly is a guy who can wait to start for a year or so, or 2 years while we have the other guard there. Either way, really good stuff right there. We've had to do some weird things with the offensive line a little bit, especially after some retirements, not being able to pay guys, probably from all the cap damage I did by trading away Matthew Stafford. But you know what? I think we made the right decision trading him away. I know that sounds a little harsh, but when you throw 3 interceptions in the Super Bowl, I can't have you around. I just can't have that. That's failure. You're stinking up the place of failure, Stafford. We had to get rid of you. So there we go. And Rob Hamilton, who we took in the draft, he's going to get some upgrades here. We're going to go with Power Rusher with him. Already probably a pretty good nose tackle. So if we upgrade his power moves, I mean, we did have to let some defensive tackles walk. So we are going to need Rob Hamilton to potentially step up and play a little bit this season. And he is already going into the 80s. So we have drafted pretty well here. And that's really good for us, right? Drafting well. It's what we have to do. I mentioned it already. When you're a team that is in a Super Bowl window like this, you have later round picks. You got to hit on some guys. And he's a star dev as well. So we do like to see that. And then Juan Beltran. We are going to go with more field general. I feel like this is the only one you should be going after unless you have like a legit scrambler. But even then, you probably want them to be able to throw the football pretty well. So I feel like field general is too good. But either way, he's going to be going up to a 92 overall here, entering his second season. So that is very nice. Superstar dev. We're going to let the CPU handle the rest of these upgrades. And I will see you for the start of year number 3. So here's the team for year number 3, third year after winning a Super Bowl. Year number 3, we are an 88 overall here. I'm going to take a quick look. You can't see it because I'm blocking it, but we are an 88 overall offense, 88 overall defense, 88 overall as a whole. This is a really good team. Offensive line, still really good. We have a new starting tight end here who's going to be really good. So Terrence Ferguson just kind of never gets his shot to start for us, but it is what it is. We have Puka. We have Chris Bell. We have Eduardo Guerrero here. So we have a really good threesome of wide receivers. And then defensively, how are we? We're still looking really good. We have Landman. We have Rucker. We have Verse. We have Byron Young. We still are great at safety. We are pretty good at corner. Not the best, not the greatest, but it's just good enough. And I feel like when you have, I think, the demons that we got that can get after you, whether it's on the interior of this defensive line or coming off the edge, we got some demons on this team, and they're going to come after you, and they're going to come after you hard here. So we want to have Guerrero in the slot because our focus is to try to, let him put up a bunch of numbers, get a bunch of dev trait points and things like that. So that's what we're going to do. I will see you for the playoffs. No midseason check-in. I'll see you for the playoffs to see if we can win our third or go to our third straight Super Bowl, but win back-to-back, and that may be the end of the rebuild. Okay, we go 14-3 on the season. So a very good season, successful season. We have some upgrades to do. Eduardo Guerrero has 8 upgrades here, so he must have been balling out here. I hope he's been balling out. That would be great if he was, but again, the same thing I always complain about, where it just feels like no matter what you do here, trying to make playmaker, it just doesn't seem to happen. So we're just going to go with deep threat. We're just going to focus on deep threat because it seems like the game wants every receiver to be a deep threat anyways. I don't know why. I hope that's something that's worked on a little bit more. These archetypes are expanded upon a little bit in Madden 27. I hope there's kind of maybe they have a new system for this entirely. I really like the college football system, how they do things. So I wouldn't be all that upset if we saw the college football version of how they do this kind of make its way into, Madden. Right, I don't want maybe a 1-for-1 copy. Maybe there's a little different things here or there, but I think it's a good system they have set up in college football with upgrading players. So 91 overall for this receiver at the end of his first year, and that is really good stuff. We're going to let the CPU do a bunch of these upgrades here. So we go from an 88 overall to a 90 overall, 92 overall offense, 90 overall defense. We'll take a look here at stats and awards, and Juan Beltran, 41 touchdowns to 6 interceptions on 4,300 yards. Just a great season for him. Kyron Williams, another really good season, 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns on the season for him. And then Eduardo Guerrero, 1,200 yards. Puka Nacua, 1,000 yards. Chris Bell, 867 yards. Nick Alvarez with 647 yards. So a really good season. We got the ball around to a couple different running backs, it looks like. Again, Terrence Ferguson just kind of never had the opportunity to really take off and take flight in this rebuild because there's other guys there. But Byron Young, 13 sacks. Kobe Turner, 12 sacks. Jared Verth, 10.5. Braden Fisk, 5. JT Rucker, 4. 3 interceptions on the season for JT Rucker, though. So you love to see that. A bunch of guys getting half sacks here, so that's just awesome. JT Rucker led the way with interceptions. Dylan Thieneman, I feel like we haven't seen him for a little bit here. 2 interceptions on the season, 2 for Quentin Lake. Cameron Kitchens with 1, Nate Landman with 1, so we love seeing that. And we'll go see who we're going to be playing in the divisional round of the playoffs, because we are the 1 seed. So it's going to be the Detroit Lions again. I feel like we have played the Lions in every single playoff run we've had of this rebuild. And I am almost tired of seeing the Lions, honestly. I would like to see someone else. Maybe I can see the Commanders or something, man. Can I see anyone but the Lions? Feels like we're just seeing the Lions over and over and over again. Nathan Bryson has definitely progressed very nicely. But we're going to advance on here. Can we beat the Lions in the divisional and go to the NFC Championship? And we do. And it's going to be the Falcons again because for whatever reason, the sim engine really values Michael Penix Jr. I have no idea why he's still rated so highly. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. He's still rated relatively high, and quarterbacks just develop like crazy. Actually, to show you this, because we should see this. So, Nathan Callan Kamanis, only a 72 overall. We haven't focused too much dev time on him. But on average, every team has like multiple 70 plus overall quarterbacks. I mean, Jesus Christ. The Saints have 3 of them. The Seahawks have 3 of them. The Steelers almost have 3 of them. The Texans almost have 3 of them. The Titans almost have 3. Not so much here for the Vikings, but there are just way too many highly rated quarterbacks. So there's got to be something done about some of these quarterbacks because like the majority of the league cannot be 75 plus overall. I mean, just look at the amount of quarterbacks here that are 72 plus overall. It is a lot of quarterbacks. They are just way too highly rated here. Something about the quarterback XP just has to be done. As quarterbacks, most of their XP should come from performance or things like that, but there's just way too many high rated quarterbacks. So let's get in here. Can we beat the Falcons? Can we move on to our 3rd straight Super Bowl to win our 2nd straight Super Bowl and close out this rebuild? We're going to come in here, try to get a score, and then kind of let the CPU do the rest of the work. I will jump in every now and then to make some things happen. And we're going to get that right there. We get a key block from Kyron Williams, and in we go, Eduardo Guerrero. Welcome to the NFL, friend. And really, I gotta say welcome to the NFL. He's had a great season. We're gonna let the CPU try to win us this game. Again, defense needs help. We'll come back on. I'll play as much as I feel like. You know what? It's my channel. I can make the rules. I can play as much or as little as I want. It's up to me. And that's not what I want to do. I was trying to do another hot route, but the game, I forgot, has to limit your hot routes because some fucking moron lost the game online or something somewhere. So it has to take, you have to wait a little bit before you do another hot route because that's realistic. Whatever. Oh, Guerrero, man. Oh, geez, he is fast with the ball in his hands. Let's hurry this up. Nope, we can't hurry it up. Okay, that's fine. We'll call another play. Clock stopped anyway, so let's try to get this ball here to... See if we can get Guerrero on a corner here. And we can't, so we'll go with Puka. And Puka will get out of bounds with him as we are trying to score before the end of this half because our offense seems to always go cold here. So let's run this play. I'm hitting X. We're going to put Alvarez in motion here. Running around, so it's definitely some sort of man coverage. And we're going to pass it here to Bell. Bell makes one man miss and drags two of them in the end zone for the touchdown. We tie this thing up 14-14, and we are down 21-14. Big 3rd down. We're going to come on the field. Look, we're going to play because you know what? Oh, they actually don't have Michael Penix. It's Ty Simpson this time, who has developed into a superstar at the very least. So try to bring some pressure here to Simpson, and that's going to be caught because we could not bring any pressure to Ty Simpson. And yeah, so we're going to see what we can do here. They still have Bijan. I am annoyed at how well the Falcons kind of develop. I don't know what changed with the coding here, but Ty Simpson's going to fumble that football. And the linemen for the Falcons get on top of it because they always do, because they seem to automatically know right away when that ball's fumbled. So Simpson here under center. We're down 7 points here. I really would like to get them off the field without giving up any points. So we're going to try to get that. They throw it. That is going to be incomplete. I believe that was JT Rutger on that play. And so now we're going to try to bring some pressure here. I don't think they're going to run the football, but I'm not going to do any pass commit or run commit here because I'm just not sure what they're going to do. They are going to throw this thing. We're going to try to get some pressure here. And Kobe Durant picks that one off. Very nice stuff right there. Picks it off in the back of the end zone. So we hold them to no points. And the game doesn't even bother giving us an offensive moment after that. What's the logic there? We get a big turnover. Don't you think I'd maybe want the fucking ball to, I don't know, play the fucking game? Is that like not a... I get that none of you morons who currently work there at EA know the code, so you don't know exactly what the hell anything does. But you can... I'm sure you could get off your ass and make some improvements to the play the moment system to actually give us moments that we actually want to play, as opposed to this bullshit of obsessively giving us defensive moments, not giving us moments after scores are given up or after turnovers. Do you not think a big moment in a game is after getting an interception? You don't think that's a big moment where I'd want the ball offensively? Seriously? That's not a moment to you? Like, what are we doing? So it looks like they are in a zone. So we're going to get this ball to Chris Bell. We are going to go hurry up here as we are trying to go fast here. Puka Nakua. I'm not trying to fucking change the play. I'm trying to call a hot route. I swear this game is designed by morons. Ooh. And oh, that was a risky throw right there. I'm not sure. Who did I get that to? Number 82. Is that Guerrero? That is Eduardo Guerrero. So we get another touchdown right there. We are back in this football game. Our defense needs help again. We just had the football, clearly. And then the game decided to, I don't know what, I swear, do they not know what they're doing over there at EA? That's a rhetorical question, because the answer is probably yes. But we do create a incomplete pass right there, as we are going to take a sip of the nectar. Bijan, down goes Ty Simpson right there. I believe that's Jared Verse with the sack, bringing down Simpson. So this defense steps up again here when their back is up against it. This defense can definitely step up, make some plays here. So we definitely take the ability for them to go for it on fourth down out of their hands, and then we somehow let Ty Simpson become a mobile quarterback. Shout out to whoever made this draft class to where Ty Simpson is a mobile quarterback. We're going to try to bring some pressure and some heat, and we give up a touchdown. Big ups to whoever made this. Yeah, Ty Simpson. That's when I think Ty Simpson, I think mobile Deadeye. That's definitely what I think. Not, you know, a pocket passer who kind of crumbles under pressure. That's definitely not what I think. I think a mobile guy who's making throws on the run. So Puka Nakua is going to beat his man right there. And that is, there we go, touchdown. We're back in this game. We have to get a stop. We got to get a stop here. Game is on the line. We got to get a stop. Simple as that. We can't let Ty Simpson turn into fucking Patrick Mahomes, because every quarterback in Madden is Patrick Mahomes. Because as much as they talk about making sure that quarterbacks play true to life, everyone plays like Mahomes for some reason. Everyone is Patrick Mahomes in Madden because they don't know how to make this game so that only Patrick Mahomes plays like Patrick Mahomes. Everyone has to play like Patrick Mahomes, so just so Patrick Mahomes can play like Patrick Mahomes. And we get not a stop, 2-minute warning. Just let the 2-minute warning come on. Why do I have to come onto the field so you can trigger this stupid 2-minute warning thing? What are we doing? I don't need 50 seconds to look at fucking Raheem Morris's ugly face. And if you take issue with that, what do you was unless Raheem Morris is your dad, I'll call a timeout right there. I don't really care if you're upset at me for calling Raheem Morris ugly. What is it, your dad? Are you gonna go fucking tell on me? You gonna come beat me up? Fucking doubt it. Slap the shit out of him. Either way, I love that WWE style tackle. So we are in it right here. At the very least, we can try for a field goal to go into overtime. But you know me, I'm thinking touchdown. I'm not thinking field goal. I'm thinking touchdown. We want the ball and we're going to score. So that's what we're going to try to do here. Nice block right there. Kyron Williams, that's a first down. But you know what? I don't mind them saying it's a 2nd and inches situation. I really don't. I don't mind that at all. Let's get under center, snap this football. And there we go again. We're going to go hurry up here. But he has to celebrate first. This is something that needs to be out in Madden 27, this stupid thing where the clock just stops so we can kind of suspend reality as if they stop the clock so you can celebrate and emote. I get that they're like really proud of their emotes that they added to the fucking game, but I don't really give a shit. I'm trying to get back into the game. Why are you like wasting my time with emotes? What's going on here? So we're going to try to get this ball to Chris Bell, and Bell's going to catch it, and Bell's going to try to run away from him, and we're going to go hurry up again. Surprised they're not calling a timeout right now, but we have Kyron Williams. I'm not sure how he's tired, but he is tired. So they don't have anyone over there. Guerrero's going to come up with it with the touchdown. And we're going to go up 35-31. They absolutely need a... I want prevent. And now I know in real life most people like prevents you from winning the game, but they need a touchdown here, and I'm definitely not going to let them beat me deep for a touchdown, and we give up a big deep pass play anyways. Big pass play. I can't do a good Kate Scott impersonation, but the big pass play. I feel bad for you guys who don't turn off commentary. I turn off commentary, so I like never have to listen to Kate Scott. Apparently she's like really bad. I'm sorry for that, but I just turn off commentary because for me, commentary gets repetitive regardless of like who it is. I don't care who they got. What are we doing here? What are these guys doing? Like, I like this. The CPU really likes doing those sneaky little like run plays because they know that people are like pass committing. So I feel like this is where they really like the Dungeons and Dragons people in the studio kind of come in and make decisions. We're like, ooh, what if we do that? Catch them off guard. It's like no one would run the ball right there. Bijan probably wouldn't even be on the field unless they were trying to run like a screenplay. But 4th and 6 here. We can get them off the field and try to win this game. And we do get them off the field right there. Off the field, we are going back to the Super Bowl here. This took a little longer than I thought it would, but you know what? I think you guys like me yapping more, especially with these shorter rebuilds in terms of how many years we're going for. And maybe it'll be a little different here because I'm like on camera now, so... either way, Juan Beltran, 5 touchdowns and interception. So one of the times when they were really close, they must have got an interception or something. I don't know. 315 yards rushing, or 315 yards passing for him. Rushing was, again, these play the moments. We notice the rushing numbers are like never good. And then Eduardo Guerrero, 3 touchdowns. Chris Bell, a touchdown. Puka Nacua, a touchdown. Nice stuff right there. Defensively, 2 sacks for Jared Verse, a sack for Byron Young, a sack for Kobe Turner, and an interception for Kobe Durant as we move on to the Super Bowl. So we got some upgrades right here. Kobe Turner, who has been a monster for us this rebuild. He's going to get some +2 block shedding, play rec, and tackle. And then JT Rucker is going to get another upgrade as well. So he's been very good for us since Omar Spates did not want to re-sign with us. So screw him. We got a player that's way better than you anyways, so it doesn't even matter. So who are we going to be playing in... That's not what I wanted to look at. Who are we playing in the Super Bowl? Why are these menus so slow? Like why? Why is there like so much delay in where I did the Broncos win again? Did the Broncos just become like whatever they've done recently? The Broncos have like just become like a monster in these sims. It feels like so. Not sure what's up with that, but the Broncos just keep on coming. I've noticed the Broncos are very good. They definitely must have did something to their playbook to encourage them a little bit more because I feel like earlier in the years you rarely saw the Broncos. But Eduardo Guerrero is going to get 3 upgrade points right here. I'm going to assume he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's already an X Factor, so I don't think there's much higher he could go. I do wonder if they're ever going to add anything where there's tiers of X Factor where you kind of add on. There already kind of is tier. Like I don't know what you would do. I don't know if there's anything higher than X Factor you could go. But Juan Beltran also gets an upgrade. He goes up to Superstar X Factor. He's had a great season. I wonder if he won an award. Let's go take a look. Did he win? He did not. He just got a dev trade upgrade for getting to the Super Bowl again, but that is fine. So we are in the Super Bowl taking on the Broncos. We are going to see if we can beat the Broncos in back-to-back Super Bowls. Can we make Bo Nix, who strangely looks like Bonnie Blue, sad again? Once you realize that connection, you can never look at Bo Nix or Bonnie Blue the same again. We are going to try to let the CPU do most of the work here, unless I have to jump in. And I'm going to jump in because it looks like it's one of those games where the offense isn't going to do anything. 3rd and 10. Why is it? It's always 3rd downs, these moments. I don't truly understand that. Big catch right there from Eduardo Guerrero. Looks like he got bumped there for like a split second. And that was a little annoying, but we're going to try to run this football here. I like running out of shotgun in Madden just because I feel like in Madden it makes more sense because, I don't know, the block's set up better, it feels like. I don't know. It's not a thing that you do in real life. I feel like running out of shotgun at times is kind of stupid. But we are in a red zone alert here. We're going to come back on the field, and we're going to throw this football. We're going to try to hit Bell really fast here. And there we go. Bell, touchdown. And there we go. Tied up football game again. Bo Nix again. I'm just going to keep playing this whole thing. What am I saying? Like I said, Bo Nix is kind of next level in the sim. In Madden, it feels like. We're just going to throw this one up. Guerrero comes down with it. Whoa. That's a big time play. Big play, Pat. Big play catch. Big pass catch. Or whatever the thing. I saw like a thing on TikTok of people making fun of Kate Scott. Jesus Christ. Can the defense, this defense should play well in the sim, and it doesn't. So, that's so fucking stupid. I do wonder if it's one of those things with I got to do a different playbook or something. I don't know. The defense should play a lot better in the sim than it does, it feels like. Like, we should have easily had someone get 20 sacks, so maybe I'm not using the right defensive playbook. This is all Rams playbook. Have not changed this once. I have no idea why this defense can't do anything. Now it's like RJ Harvey's a beast. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Especially, sorry for swearing so much, people. But our defensive line should get a lot more penetration than it does. I just feel like Madden games just don't want that sort of stuff. For whatever reason, I don't get it. I think it's an online thing. I think they don't want guys who play this game online competitively to be upset or some shit about having to actually pay attention to, There we go. We block the fucking thing. And Bryson comes up with it. And we're going to try to take this thing back. We're going to try to steal some points here. We're going to try to house this. Bryson is going to take this the distance. And we have a tied up Super Bowl. We steal some points from the Broncos. You'd think they'd let me play our next offensive drive, but apparently not. The logic of this, it's the Super Bowl. Of course I want the next offensive drive after I tie the game up. Jesus Christ. 4th and 5 here. Over 400 yards here for Bo Nix. Like I said, Bo Nix and the Broncos kind of just go crazy in the sim recently. We are at a 2nd and 4 here. We're going to hand this ball off, and we're going to try to navigate our way up here, and we are going to chew clock. We're absolutely going to chew clock. We're going to take as much time as we possibly can. How is he tired? Why is he always tired? If you're tired, get off the field. Go drink a Gatorade. And I tried giving myself up. Pause. And we end up getting into the end zone, scoring a touchdown. 35-28. We're going to come back on the field. We've basically played this whole thing. So I lied about letting the CPU do it. But do you really care? I'm sure someone does. I'm sure someone's like, oh, it's like, shut up. Shut up, nerd. Shut up, nerd. Our defense, we really should get more pressure off of our interior. I really don't understand why they're not getting any pressure at all. It's a little annoying, but I feel like that's just always an issue with Madden games where it's like, you're just this. It's just this constantly. You're just not getting any pressure. I don't know why they've decided to build the game like that, because that's not football, right? There's no push at all besides of insta-sheds, right? It doesn't feel like there's a battle in the trenches in Madden football at all. There's no battle in the trenches whatsoever. And I don't understand the thought process behind building a football game where there's no battle in the trenches, where trench play doesn't fucking matter. You would think it would matter because the head of gameplay was a former offensive lineman. He'll always rush to tell everyone. He played in the NFL. He was a lineman. He'll rush to let everyone know. He'll let all of us know. He was a lineman. He played. He was a college guy. He played. Colorado State. He played. And yet he doesn't know how to properly code or tell the monkeys coding this game that you need to have trench play. There needs to be, there's no trench play is my point. At all. No trench play. There's no hint of they know what trench play is. Dylan Thieneman can close this one out. His foot gets shoved out of bounds. I believe we turned Cortland Sutton into a defensive back right there. Thieneman, our first round pick, could have ended it. And no one can get to Cortland Sutton because we have no fucking pressure. I appreciate EA building a football game where there's no pressure at all, right? You only get sacked on insta-sheds. I will keep fucking bitching about that until I probably die because I doubt that's ever going to change. Chris Bell, we are going to try to take this down. We're going to give ourselves up right there. And the Broncos stupidly call a fucking timeout. Why would they call a timeout right there? Unless they're going to let me score on this play. Right? No, they're not. They're going to tackle me. And then they call a timeout. Thanks, idiots. Thanks, dummy. Because now I can just run another play and kick a field goal. We get down right at the one. We're going to come onto the field. As Puka Nacua just checked into rehab. I just got that update on my phone. So we are going to call a timeout. And then we're going to run the football here. Call another timeout if we don't get in for the score. And we get in for the score. So they have 10 seconds left. And they actually have 6 seconds left. So everyone get back. In real life, this is like hook and lateral time, right? This is some razzle-dazzle nonsense that I know Sean Payton would have up right there. And that is going to do it. And we win back-to-back Super Bowls. And that's going to be the rebuild. Right as we get a notification that Puka Nacua has checked himself into rehab, we beat Bonnie Blue Knicks in back-to-back Super Bowls. Dylan Thieneman gets his second Super Bowl ring. And there we go. We win another Super Bowl here. Very nice stuff right here. We went to the Super Bowl in every year of this rebuild. Juan Beltran picks up his second ring in his second season. So on a great trajectory for himself. Defense did not play well in this one. I mean, giving up over 400 plus yards to Bo Nix. I say that as if I'm insulting. I think Bo Nix is a very good quarterback. I think everyone still harbors like Auburn Bo Nix against Bo Nix. I don't think that Bo Nix exists anymore. I think he was a very young man, basically still a kid at that point in time, had a lot of pressure on him. Auburn really hasn't been that good since then. So I think he has definitely improved as a player. I'm going to take these sunglasses off for a little bit. He has definitely improved as a player, and I think he is a very good quarterback. And yeah, we beat him twice here in the Super Bowl. I mean, almost 500 yards. I mean, 5 touchdowns. Absolutely insane day for Bo Nix. Defense really did not do that well. Granted, we don't have the best corners, but I feel like corners almost don't matter in the actual game. But we are doing play the moment, so maybe it matters a little bit more in that case, but I'm not sure. Juan Beltran, a really good game. 3 touchdowns for Kyron Williams. A touchdown for Eduardo Guerrero. I mean, that was a deep one, 70-plus yards. Chris Bell, a touchdown. Puka Nacua didn't do much in this game, honestly, which is fine because we have a bunch of other dogs on this team. Looks like we did get some pressure, but I didn't see it in game. And Kobe Durant with an interception. Dylan Thieneman almost had one as well. So that is going to do it for the rebuild right there. If you've been enjoying these, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like, all that other good stuff. Go follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. I think now that I have this webcam, I think I'm going to probably start live streaming on Twitch a little bit more. I think I'll be more willing to do that. Goal here for the channel, get that last rebuild done. We are definitely going to beat the draft, so that rebuild will be out next week. I'm going to maybe try to find some Madden 27 stuff to talk about, things like that. But again, we are pretty much wrapping up here with Madden 26. Maybe I'll try to do some stuff with the Jets franchise stuff. I'm not really sure. I'm just really not interested in playing franchise, really just playing full games of Madden right now. It's April, guys. If you're interested in what I've been doing recently, I have a 2K channel. Go follow the 2K channel. I've been uploading. I have 2 franchises, my NBA's going on the 2K channel. So if you like my videos, you like my content, go over there. I should have a link in the description. Go watch those videos. I'm doing that. I want to get that channel monetized. Doing some stuff on the college football channel again. Not looking really again to play these games like that. I know that sounds weird to say that in these videos, but it's April, guys. These games have been out since like July and August. I am kind of sick of playing them. And yeah, so there's that. So if you've been enjoying all the stuff here on this channel, though, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And it really does mean a lot to me that people watch these videos and like them and all this other stuff. I really, again, I appreciate all of that. But yeah, go hit subscribe on this channel. Go hit subscribe to the 2K channel. Go hit subscribe to my college football channel. I have a shorts channel I just started, so I'm gonna start uploading some shorts and things like that, trying to do some different things here in 2026. So again, if you've been enjoying all this stuff, go hit subscribe to all those things, follow me on the Twitter, and I will see you guys next time for more Madden rebuilds. We have one more left to do before we have rebuilt all 32 teams. So on to the Seahawks. Thanks for watching. Peace.